I kind of put it at the end of the last video where nobody would see it, but I do stream on Twitch. Hey guys, check me out on twitch.tv/pride_. Should be on the screen and in the description. Bye. Have fun with the rest of the video if this is something that you're into. If not, I don't mind if you don't watch. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a different kind of video from what you guys are probably expecting. If you're on my channel because you saw my big MVM video and you're like, yes, I want more content like that, this is not that, so feel free to skip this one if you want. This is just going to be me talking off the cuff, no script, talking about what the experience of making that video was like, just stuff like that, what it was like making the video, some of the production elements, breaking down some of the decisions I made, all that kind of stuff. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was how long, like I said in the video, it took me about 5 months to make it. And I want to talk about how long it should have taken me, because realistically, I think it only should have taken me about 2 or 3. Especially the last month, I was just not motivated at all. I spent like 2.5, 3 weeks. Literally, I didn't boot up Vegas or SFM a single time in that whole time, so it kind of feels a little bit disingenuous for me to say it. That I took all of that time to make it, but realistically, I wish I could have been working at my maximum efficiency all of the time. And I know I had school and I had work all the time. Oh yeah, the 3 weeks that I was not doing anything was because school was kicking my ass. So school was just starting and I was trying to get a feel for it. So yeah. God, I had school and work when I started this video, and then I had work only for a lot of the summer, but I was working like 40-hour weeks every single week. But I quit my job like a month and a half ago to focus on school, and because I didn't want to move in on campus with COVID because I worked at a grocery store. But then I didn't end up moving in on campus after all, so it was completely pointless anyway, but who cares? Now I have plenty of time to sit around and play TF2. Yeah. Plenty of time to sit around and play TF2. So, like, what I have booted up here in SFM, this is the big Scout animation. You might recognize it. The big thing, Family Jewels, Trial of Thunder, underscoring it. It was a whole ass thing, and I loved it. I love making this. But this took the entire first month of production to make. Like, holy crap. Because I was learning the program as I went. This is the first thing that I made. I told myself, I know that I want this in the video, and I knew exactly where I wanted it. And if I can make this, then I will go ahead and throw myself into the deep end and make the rest of the video. And I did it. I made this, and it works, I think, pretty well. One thing to mention is that, so you actually may notice viewing the video that these guys, the particle for the shooting is not, like, connected to the minigun, and that is because when you record gameplay of heavy shooting in SFM, for whatever reason the particles are just moved forward slightly. I don't understand why. I would have to load in, like, I would have to create animation sets for existing elements for all of the particles and then just move them backwards, and that just seemed like a big pain in the ass. I could have done it very, very easily. I'm not too sure why I didn't, but the program was very close and did crash a lot working on this scene because I have 13 heavies shooting at the same time, and SFM just isn't really equipped to know how to deal with that very well. It doesn't work. It doesn't want to do it. It crashed a lot working on this. And also I just pressed Control S. Let's see how long this takes to save. Please tell me it did not crash, because there we go. I had to go through that every single time that either I saved or it auto-saved as soon as I started working with these heavies. So, yeah. Which is one of the first things I did. And then, oh my god, robots. Do not even get me started on fucking... So, in order to get the robots to move, you can't record game... So, for those of you who don't know how SFM works, if you press F11, you load up this. and you can run around and record gameplay. I have the volume turned off because it's very loud, but you can just record gameplay. If I were to hit record, then it would start recording of this shit. And then that happens. It's a very easy way to record footage. I didn't know that until I looked at the Valve tutorials and I went, that is literally sick as shit. But you can't do that because you can't play as robots. Oh, also you can't use any of the non-stock items, which is really dumb. You have to import the models and lock them to them. Import the models for the weapons and lock them to the character models by hand. But they're all like fairly swap. They're easy to do, but you can't play as robots. So for every single one of these heavies, I had to record gameplay as a regular heavy, okay? And then I had to go in, find the animation set and load it in, and then I had to export the animation into a folder and then spawn in a bot heavy and then import the animation onto the bot heavy and then delete the original heavy model. And as it turns out, I underestimated how long the short would be because some of the heavy's animations were running out by the end. So I actually had to do that twice for all of these models. So it was an ordeal. It sucked, but I don't know, I liked it. I thought it, but like, oh yeah, yeah, I just made them not visible for this. I think I thought it would help with having the program not crash. I don't think it does, but that's still really funny that the miniguns just aren't moving. I don't think there's much else to say about this one. How many SFMs did I make for this? So let's see. This was all for my duel video. All of these. This is a thumbnail, or no, this is a thumbnail, and this is a thumbnail. Everything else here, these are all for the freaking, oh boy, every single SFM had to be its own file. Let me just Control S real quick. Let's see how long that takes again. Oh boy. Crash, do it. Do it, you won't. Okay. But yeah, it was hell to work with that. It really was. But most of the other SFMs behaved themselves. I didn't really have any other major issues with the program. For the most part, I was like, this took me a month. And then every single other thing, like when I was doing the soldier bits, those would take me like 2 or 3 days to make each one. By the time I hit the heavy and engineer segments, I was making 2 or 3 SFMs in a single day. So I definitely got a lot more efficient at working with this program. Like, where's the Uncle Dane intro? What did I even label it as? Yeah, NG intro. Makes sense. Yeah, this over here. This whole thing took me about, I don't know, 3 hours, 3-4 hours. I mean, this part looks like ass. Him putting down the dispenser thing looks awful. Also, I don't know how to get rid of that flash when anybody knows. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I probably should have added the lights before I bladed the scene. Also, the words were added in post, obviously. There isn't really much else to go over in SFM. Like I said, everything behaved itself pretty well. The big heavy animation, I think, took me 2 days. And that's because leading up to that big heavy animation, I was pretty burned out. That's why it was taking, like, there was a couple weeks when I would just like boot up Vegas, edit, like maybe slot in one thing of gameplay footage, and then stop editing for the rest of the day. But I made sure to do at least one thing a day for that entire time. For basically the entire time that I was making the video, except for those like 3 weeks at the end where school was really kicking my ass. But yeah. Oh boy. Oh. I was surprised to find out that this is a medal. A little pyro. Like, metal pyro? Why is it a medal? I thought this, I mean, like, obviously it's a metal because it's a metal, but I thought it was like a cosmetic or something. I mean, metals are cosmetics, but what, you know what I mean. I guess it is too small to be anything else realistically. This isn't going in the video. Yeah, SFM behaved itself. Let's move on to Vegas. So, yeah, this is my time in SFM. Obviously just updated, but 299.6 hours. When I started this video, I had 20 hours, so it took me about 200, what is that? 260 hours? No, 200, yeah, like 280 hours in order to make, just in SFM, not even counting time in Vegas, although there was fairly minimal time spent in Vegas. So, going through from the start here, there was actually a little segment here, like, before this was cut, but I decided to do this thing with the explosion because it's much less cringy than what I originally had, and you may think that the thing with the explosion is still pretty cringy, and I'm like, yeah, but what I had before was much worse. This was another one of the first things I made. So the entire video was made sequentially, so from start to finish. I made the intro, then scout, soldier, pyro, demo, heavy, everything in order. And all of the, you may notice that, like, I'm not sure if you can tell, I don't know if I can, that all of the voice lines were recorded on different days, because I knew from the start that if I recorded all of the voice lines and had them all going all the way, then I would just, like, when I'd be working on, like, the scout or the soldier, I would look at how much I had left, and I would go, man, there's no way I'm ever going to get to the end of this. So I did them one at a time. I recorded the intro and then edited it, and then I recorded the voice lines for the scout, and then I edited that section, and then soldier, pyro, demo, heavy, and it worked well. It kept me motivated throughout basically the entire project, but it also means that all of the lines were recorded on different days at different times, which means that they shouldn't realistically flow into each other very well, but I think that's made up for by the fact that I'd have these intro cards for everything, because it kind of, it disjoints the voice a little bit, you know? It doesn't, like, it's not just one thing directly flowing into the other. So when it comes to the music choices, this is one of the big things I wanted to hit on. Oh, right. References to my favorite YouTubers. Obviously, there's the Uncle Dane reference that is the engineer intro. This whole thing is really, the whole engineer segment is a big reference to Uncle Dane, complete with Pokemon Gen 2 remake music. And I even quoted him a couple times in here. The heavy segment, this was obviously a reference to Lazy Purple. Mad Respect, one of my favorite channels, biggest influence on the style of this video. But I realized towards the end of this video that the reason why it wasn't coming quite across as Lazy style was not just because, I mean, Lazy obviously doesn't just do SFM skits, and that's the only reason why his videos are good. Obviously, he does a lot more than that. But the fact that this is a tutorial means that it will never have the same kind of style and pacing as Lazy's videos, because, quite simply, his videos are much more clip focused. He records gameplay of clips, and then he goes, what does this clip represent? He specifically said that he does that in one of the videos, which means that since I wrote the script first, and then tried to fit in SFMs and everything after that, it's never going to have the same tone. Although I specifically set out to be able to visualize what I wanted everything to look like before I started editing. So when I was writing the script, if I could not think in my head what I wanted like an SFM or gameplay to look like, if I couldn't figure out what I wanted visually on the screen when looking at that part of the script, I cut it out of the script and I didn't use it. There wasn't many things that I rewrote the script until I could think of it like that. So I was feeling burnt out from approximately here, or no, not here, like around starting Soldier. I was feeling kind of burnt out. Like this incredibly basic SFM. This took me like a few days, and this took me like a week. These three, this, and this, or yeah, this, they were all recorded on the same map because they're all part of the same SFM project, and this took me like a week to do because I was just not motivated at all, and that motivation kind of carried through. My motivation was in and out all the way through the pyro section, all the way through the demo section, even partially for this. It was kind of like mid to low for everything up until about here. And then I started to go, gee, working with SFM is like really fun. Like really, really fun. And I had so much fun making this. And I thought, damn, this is a good frame. This is now my offline notification, or my offline image for my Twitch. Because I was just animating this and I'm like, God, man, that frame, that's perfect, dude. I did such a good job on that frame. And then from there on, all I wanted to do was wake up, do my morning routine, work on video until I went to bed, and then go to sleep and do it again for 2 weeks. And I got from this all the way up to here done. All the way up until the medic section. And that's when the motivation died back down. That's like, what? A fifth of the video? How much is that, actually? That is about 1730 to like 12:15. It's like 5 minutes worth of video out of a 25-minute video. Yeah, that's a fifth of the video that I made in 2 weeks. And the engineer segment is easily the most SFM heavy segment. I think there's more SFM in here than there is actual gameplay. And I oh my God, it was so much fun. And then I kind of, fell off of it for the medic bit. Although I do still think that everything in the medic bit is good. I think I could have fit more SFMs in here. You could probably feel my motivation waning a bit for especially just these last 3 sections. I like the sniper section. I don't think it needs much more SFM than it had, but I don't know. And then Spy barely had any SFM, but this segment actually took me a little bit to make. It wasn't that hard, but these things, setting this up was actually kind of difficult, and I'll get to more into how I did that in a minute. And then I will also get into how I made these upgrade screens in a minute, because you may notice that they are just one video clip, and I'll explain that in a second. Right, I was talking about references to my favorite YouTubers. There was one other reference that you may have caught. I don't know if anybody at all caught it. It's, what is it? This like 2-second long video clip. This is a reference to Lemon, one of my favorite YouTubers who used to use this all the freaking time. That's it. That's the only thing I could find to put him in here. And then I didn't even get to reference one of my favorite YouTubers, Best Guy Ever. I couldn't find a way to fit him in here, honestly. His Wiagawa content is okay. I very much prefer his larger scripted stuff, but that's kind of besides the point. So talking about music. So for the intro, I kind of just went with what I thought fit. I think that this Kirby thing sets the tone. Well, Expert costs less money to play, and you can. Yeah, I think it sets the tone pretty well. It's kind of upbeat and catchy, And then as soon as the soldier shows up, and I start talking a little bit more seriously about Expert and what it's like, because this is all kind of joking and everything. And as soon as I start talking a little bit more seriously, I bring the tone down a little bit more to be more relaxed with the Glitter Gulch Mine from Banjo-Tooie. But then as soon as we hop into Scout, I want the energy to match Scout's energy, and I also want, as I did this for every single character. Every single character's song is like tangentially related to them in some way. So for Scout, I did Sonic music, except for Trial of Thunder, which I used for this, but that's because I didn't have the idea to make the characters' music choices relate to them until after the fact. So like I said, I animated all of this first. So there's no way I was going back to change it. And there's no way that I was cutting this out because, oh my god, I love it. It took me way too long to make. I think it turned out well. So Scout has Sonic music under him. I kicked it up to 11 with between Trial of Thunder and what is this, Route 213, 203 from SA2, and then halfway through the Scout section, the intensity has been kicked up to 11 for way too long, so I brought it back down with the Dilapidated Way from Sonic Adventure 1, which is still a Sonic song, but it's very much more slowed down. Then for Soldier, we've been relaxing for a little bit, so let's kick it back up with the American Dad theme. I think you can all understand why that's related to Soldier, followed by traditional American marches. Again, pretty self-explanatory. I used the Washington Post March and the Thunderer. Nothing really too special to talk about in Soldier. There wasn't really much unique about Scout either. Yeah, there really wasn't too much unique stuff to talk about in either of these two. Pyro, I was really struggling with Pyro. I was trying to figure out what song I wanted to represent Pyro, and I ended up deciding on the Neostar from Kirby 64 because it is a fire level from a children's video game. So I thought, hey, you know, that fits Pyro's character pretty well. He doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Kirby, but the theming fits with the character, I think. I did want to explain what I mean about the gas passer a little bit because some people are kind of confused. Like, the reason why I think the gas passer is problematic is not because you cannot play in a smart way with it. It's because, one, it does not encourage you to play smart with it because you can be, like, you can still be more effective than most of the classes by just botting in and immediately dying as soon as you throw the gas, which sucks. And this is a personal thing for me. My favorite class to play in MVM is Sniper, the guy whose job is cleaning up all of the little guys with explosive headshots. And it is not fun when a Pyro just gets to brain dead, throw gas passer, and take out every single wave of every single thing of small bots before you can even do anything. It really feels like there's no reason for you to play the class at all. With gas passer, you could probably clear every single mission with only 3 people. I really do mean that. I'm pretty sure that clearing it with 3 people has been done. I haven't looked into it. I probably should at some point. The challenges and how few people you can clear expert with. But a lot of people said that the Flog is just as good as the stock, if not better than the stock. Actually, a lot of people did say the Flog is better than the stock, and I would have to agree. Flog is generally better than the stock flamethrower. I just really wanted to get out there that if you're going to air blast people, please don't go crazy with it because it's not that good, you know? This demo intro, I had no idea what to do with it. I hope this got a laugh out of at least one person because all I did was sticky jump through the air and then have him fall on the ground and die. There is nothing special about this at all. And it's actually kind of embarrassing how little effort I put into this. It's like the only thing that makes it work is the camera movement and the editing. It's actually really sad. And then obviously for demo, I put Bomberman music under it because I think I need to explain that one. Bomberman. For demo, like, he's just so simple. I mean, Sniper isn't very much more complicated. Demo spams stickies and uses sticky traps. Sniper shoots people in the head. There really isn't much to talk about with these two classes, but even then, Demoman's segment is like less than a minute long because, like, wait, is it less than a minute? Yeah, it's just under a minute long because there's just not much to say about the class. He's really basic, but he's still fun. Spamming stickies with Demoman and MVM is really fun, you guys. Like, I don't know. I just like playing Sniper better because like I said, like I showed in the sniper intro, which was the only one that was not made in SFM, for those of you that were paying attention, because I just had the idea, this is exactly what I want the sniper intro to be, this is exactly how I want to introduce the class. That deep, bassy sound was... oh, I love it. I love it so much. It's so good, and I love playing sniper in MVM. Like, oh my god. It just feels good to hit those shots. Like, a lot of people were saying, you know, the Beggars is better than the air, like, both, basically anything that you could run on Soldier, and I agree with them. The Beggars is the best thing to run on Soldier. It is his best weapon, and it makes him with max money, probably the most generally applicable and flexible damage dealer in the entire game once he has all of his upgrades. The main issue with Soldier is before he has all of those upgrades, he really sucks. The Beggars does reduce the amount of money necessary to get to that limit, but I personally don't like playing with the Beggars because I don't like the Beggars gets its damage from its consistent fire rate, but I prefer using the airstrike to deal a massive burst of damage. That's just the way I play the game. Heavy. I love heavy. I was trying so hard in this heavy section to show people, to not only teach people how to position, because that's basically all heavy is positioning. The only other thing that you do as heavy is put your crosshair on bots and hold down mouse, or hold down left mouse. But heavy is, oh my god, he can be so much fun. Like I said, I included this heavy bit to really demonstrate. I really wanted to get that feeling across, how it feels to just, like, there's this giant heavy or two standing in front of you, shooting at you with their giant miniguns that deal like 3 billion damage per shot, and you just stand your ground in front of them and heal off all of the damage that they do with Mad Milk. It's such a good feeling. You feel invincible. I love that feeling. I love playing heavy from time to time. And I really wanted to get that across because not a lot of people want to play heavy because they think he's kind of boring. And as I said, I will agree, there are points when he kind of is. But it's when the Giants drop that he really makes up for that. Was there anything else for heavy? I think it was Obama administration brought up the Hulong heater strategy to me afterwards. But I think the Hulong heater is a bit of an advanced strategy that I will go over in the advanced strategies video. Yeah, there was nothing else. Nothing else really. Advanced strategies or tips and tricks video. I'll probably do both in the same video because I don't know advanced strategies by itself will be long enough. This NG loadout, I love this NG loadout. Why can you equip the cute suit and the Viking braider or any beard together? I don't know, and I don't care, but because I just love the fact that you are able to. Engineer is the only class that realistically needs upgrades. I think I really captured everything about the way Engineer feels in MVM really well throughout this section. There's the boring shit when you're defending the bomb, and there's how fun it can be to body block scouts. I don't know, I think I captured this fairly okay. I probably should have given this guy a fish like he is supposed to have, but I just completely slipped my mind to give him a weapon. Right. If there is a point in this video where you go, huh, I wonder why he cut it that way. Like, hang on, let me mute the voice real quick. Like, you may notice that you wonder, huh, why does this cut out right here? Why is it blank for a second? But if you look at it closely, it's because it syncs up with the music. If there's a decision in this video where you look at it and you go, gee, I really wonder why he edited it like that, double check and see if it syncs up with the music, because I tried to do that a decent amount of times, and I think that every single time that I did it, it worked really well and was really cool. Right, I didn't talk about the music for Heavy. It just completely slipped my mind. Heavy, I had a Russian folk arrangement of Tetris, which was previously used for an SFM that was in the Saxies. What was it, Russian Time? I really like that video, and I really like the song, and I thought it was perfect to capture the Heavy's personality, because game from Russia. I'm pretty sure the Tetris song is already a Russian folk song, but don't quote me on that. I'm probably talking out of my ass. For Engineer, as I said, Engineer is the only one where the songs are not related to the character specifically, but are rather in reference to a YouTuber that is connected to the character. Medic. He's just kinda okay. Oh god, Medic. I love Medic. I love playing him from time to time. I love playing all these classes from time to time. So for the Medic, I went into Grizzlyberry's Discord and I asked around. I was like, oh my god, guys, what do I do for, like, I'm trying to find music for this Medic segment. And I want the song to be like, to feel like tonally like it fits the character in some way. And they're like giving me options. Like, they gave me Sellouts from the Simpsons Hit and Run. They gave me all these different options. I'm like, man, none of these really fit, until somebody suggested Professor Egad's theme as like this, the mad scientist, but still kind of laid back theme. And I think that completely perfectly fits the exact tone that I was going for in this segment. I think that whoever came up with that is a fucking genius and deserves a medal, because I don't think I would have thought of Egad's theme by myself, because I don't think about Luigi's Mansion too much, even though I really liked the game. It's just not a game that comes to the forefront of my mind, which is unfortunate because it's very good. I didn't do anything too special in the Medic segment. Yeah, I didn't really do anything too special here. The Sniper segment, I was also having trouble thinking what song should I use for Sniper, because I'm thinking about games and I'm like, man, what other like memorable Sniper characters are there that have recognizable theme songs? They don't exist. Like, what am I gonna use? The End from Metal Gear Solid 3? I don't even know if he has a good theme song. So in the end, I decided to reference another media property that's not even a video game at all that I love. I used Usopp's theme, the Sniper character from One Piece. I love One Piece. I'm caught up with the manga. If you don't like One Piece, fuck you. It's good. It's very good. Sniper is just so ridiculously strong, and I love the class so much. So much. But alright, another reason that I was so hard on the Gas Passer is because a lot of advanced players, or a lot of high-tor players, are really hard on the Gas Passer, and even though I will not kick people for using it, a lot of high-tors will kick people for using it, and I want people to be aware that that is the mentality going in. I want you to understand what the mentality of the general player base around the Gas Passer is before you queue up, so that you aren't caught off guard when people get really mad at you for running it, because it happens a lot. And then for Spy, again, nothing too special editing wise. Yeah, just it was just really straightforward. There was this segment that I said I'll go over in a second. The song, I didn't want to just use a Metal Gear Solid song, so at the very last second I decided to switch it out with Insane in the Rain's cover. If you don't know Insane in the Rain music, go subscribe to him right now. Probably my favorite musician. I decided to use his cover of Snake Eater because it's still a Metal Gear Solid thing, so it works, and I didn't want to use the vocal track because I thought it would clash with my voice, so I used the instrumental cover of another YouTuber that I freaking love. And then the outro. There is no editing in the outro. Or wait, there is editing in the outro, right? It's the afterword with no editing. There is minimal editing in the outro though. I kind of just threw together whatever clips. I was thinking, like, I was burned out again hard by the time that I got here, and I just wanted the video to be done. I just wanted to get this thing over with. So I just kind of threw together clips of me doing something. This there's this nice little segment. It's nothing too impressive, honestly. It's just transition between clips, and then I synced up the ending of the MVM theme to match with when I stop talking and tell people not to use a gas passer. And then for the afterword, there is no editing here at all. There's nothing. I didn't do anything for the afterword. I'm sure you all know that. Most people didn't even bother sticking around and watching this, so it's just me talking. It's probably just as bad. It's probably a little better than what I'm doing right now. I don't even know how much I'm going to edit this. Yeah, there's a lot of little edits in the engineer segment, like this little thing where I put up Uncle Dane's video, swapping between casual, competitive, and MVM. Oh, the upgrade section. Yeah, I just completely forgot how much health the building's got. That's it for the main. For the main thing. And now, so if you guys think that it is confusing with how many video tracks I have here, so I have, did I even use this middle video track? Right, I used it a couple of times. I needed 4 video tracks. One that I had labeled text, and then video 1, 2, and 3. So this is where most of the text was for the beginning, and then I kind of just moved the text to right down here because it was always visible, because I mostly had the thing looking like this, and I scrolled up if I needed to. So I didn't, like, the reason why some things, like this, like the upgrades sections, are so much more complicated than it seems that they should be, because they're like these took a decent amount of resources, and I kept running into having Vegas crash early on, and I was like, okay, I cannot add any more things on top of what I'm already doing. I cannot add any more video tracks. So instead, I created things where I would individually render specific pieces of the video. So did I do the template for the upgrades? I think I just loaded up Scout and then did save as. Where's my Scout upgrades? Load this up real quick. So if you thought that what I had before was bad, so here's, let's see, how many video tracks I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 video tracks and 2 audio tracks in order to make these work. There is no way that I could have possibly fit this kind of stuff in the regular video without individually rendering it, but it does work really nicely, and the fact that I had it so disjointed actually works really well, because then I could just load this up, and all of these, like all of the text, first, second, third, all of this, I can leave up with exactly the same fade in. So I would just move this off to the side, pull something else in, and then make sure they're the same length, set the fade time to be the same, and then slot it back in and delete the old one. So it made editing this really nice and simple. So that's how I did all of these. It's literally just individually rendering these. Although it was kind of tricky, because I did have to, you can see it clearer on the other ones. You may notice that the Scout ones are a bit rougher than the ones for all of the other classes. That's because about the time that I was doing Soldier, I realized, why am I cutting, like, I was using push, which, if you don't know, it allows you to just take quick screenshots of parts of your screen. I was using push to save images of the upgrade screens from my from the recorded footage, and then about the time that I was on Soldier, I was like, wait, why don't I just load into MVM and then just use push to get them from when I'm in the game itself, which is why these ones look so much nicer. But it also does mean that I had to cut out each and every single upgrade at the level that I wanted it individually and crop them and put them next to each other and set them all up. And then when I was in Photoshop, you may notice how much blank space there is here. We'll go over that in a second. I can't actually zoom in on that. Okay, so when I'm here, I have all of these. I have the, like, open up the template. So I would load these in, and then here is the layer. This is the, I had Vegas. I had all of the text set up, and then I used this, which copies a snapshot of this to your key or to your clipboard, and then opened that up in Vegas, and then just pasted all of the upgrades on top, and then I cut them out one at a time. So I would hide I would hide everything but 2 of them, and hide this, and then do that, and then I wouldn't have to worry with moving around the stuff. Once it was in the video, it would already be in place. All I had to do was just literally all I had to do was just set the fade time and the duration. So but it also does mean that I do have images of basically every upgrade in the game maxed. So if anybody needs these, I guess hit me up, because I mean, I don't have everything, because I only took what I needed, but still, if you need something like that, hit me up. I guess I have them on hand. And then for the spy thing, right? What did I name it? Spy is good on these waves, right? So this was actually kind of complicated. I had the voice going underneath. Let me mute that real quick. So then I have these all set masked and moved. Like masked and panned so that you can only see part of them. And then I used color correction to change the colors of them when I needed to for the thing to work. And then I changed them back. And then I actually created 2 other video tracks on top of this in order to move these 2, in order to slide these in by animating them, by just, you know, doing the thing that comes to Vegas with keyframes. Oh my god, this is a pain in the ass to make. But I think it looks good. And yeah, I think that's about everything that I really did that was any complicated. Like, there is not that much in this video that is very complicated, and I think that's the thing that I really want to try and do next. I want to start doing some things that are more complicated, because I look at somebody like Lazy Purple and his jokes, and I'm like, there's some jokes that are so creative, I don't even know how he came up with I don't even know how the heck he came up with them. Like the idea for the heavy tutorial that I referenced in the main part of the video, oh right, also I had a main and a backup for these. And then gotta wait for everything to load in. So for this big heavy thing, like, where are you? I just referenced him. I didn't come up with this idea myself. I didn't really come up with any big unique ideas for this video. It's all fairly standard. I just used SFM to make it look a little better. You know what I mean? All right, this was another thing that I just applied filters on top and individually rendered it because it would have taken way too much time. And a couple more video tracks in order to get everything synced up if I were to do it in here. So no go, yeah. But I think it looks good. But yeah, so, right, plans for the future. I do plan on continuing to make big videos like this. This was a ton of fun, and I really want to do it again, but I'm not gonna hop straight back into that. I got a couple smaller things that I want to do first, so I hope you guys will stick around and watch those. It should only take me a couple weeks, and then I'll like vanish off the face of the planet to start working on more of this, more things like this, and more MVM tutorials. So my current plan is, next up is a video going and breaking down each of the individual waves of expert MVM one by one and explaining what kind of strategies do and don't work for each of them. After that, I'll be going over the advanced strategies and the tips and tricks, and then after that, I don't really think there's anything else to cover. It should only be those 2 more videos, and then I've done most of what I can for MVM. I mean, I could make a video on a bunch of glitches and stuff, but it's not too necessary, you know? I hope you guys will watch those. I don't know if I can make them match up to this in terms of quality, because I mean, I think I can, but when I think of the waves themselves, I don't think of as many unique SFM ideas as I did going over each of the individual classes, but it's just going to be down to how I write the script, which is going to be a huge challenge because I'm going to want it to be thinking about it visually again, because I didn't want to be caught in a situation where I had no idea what to slot in visually. Also, here's my 2 anime girls. They've been on screen this entire fucking time, basically. Hope you had fun staring at them. See you guys next time. Oh, right. Check out my stream. Do it. I stream, please. I do competitive and casual and MVM. Hello.